Welcome back to It's Business Crime. I'm Mike the Map Maker, and this is episode 12, the season finale of It's Business Crime Season 1. And today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking 3 of the maps that we previously made. I'm going to stick them together, and we're going to make a bit of a quest line you can throw at your players straight after the video. Literally watch the video, download the maps for free, and then you can run this encounter at your tables. So the 3 maps that we have, well, it's the market, day and night. We've also got the blacksmith, day and night, and of course the apothecary, day and night as well, and a sneaky underground autopsy map straight underneath the apothecary. So that is 7 maps completely for free that you can use. So those are our maps that we're going to be using. Let's set the scene. So imagine our players are in a new town, the PCs poll up, and this town's just had an election. They've hired a new mayor, and that mayor has won by an absolute record-breaking landslide. So our players are at the tavern enjoying the celebrations. Maybe they're a few sangrias deep, listening to the bard play Rush on the lute, when suddenly a cloaked figure approaches them. So this cloaked figure, I'll let you decide what they look like and who they are species-wise. This cloaked figure tells your PCs that the new mayor is corrupt. They didn't win legitimately. They went and they bribed 3 of the top business folk in town to make sure they got their vote. And of course, with their vote, well, that became a kind of a snowball effect with people going behind them. So this wasn't on the level, and to make it worse, the cloaked figure tells your players that this new mayor is evil. They're going to use their new position of power and take the town in some bad directions and treat people badly, not take care of them. So hopefully that gives your players a little bit of motivation to get a bit criminal. So here's the task our cloaked figure's going to give our players. They're going to say, hey, I want you to go to these 3 people, these 3 bribed officials, and I want you to steal their bribe away. It's the perfect crime because what they did is illegal in the laws of the land, and with that we can rob them. And what can they do? It's not like they can go to the town guard and explain all their gold's been taken from their illicit bribe, the criminal scumbags. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to go to the 3 marks. The contact is going to give you each mark one after the other. So you're going to go off, do a crime, steal their bribe, bring it back, and the contact will split it with you 50-50. Here's the catch though. You've got 1 day to do it. Once you've robbed one of these officials, well, they're going to go and tell the others that they've been robbed and what's going on. They're aware of each other. So if we dally, we don't get straight to it after robbing one of them, the others, well, they're going to wise up, they're going to hide their bribe and up the security, making it near impossible to complete the mission. So we got to do it in one fell swoop, basically. Let's imagine that after a bit of haggling, your players accept the quest. Where's their first target? Who's the first mark? Well, we're going to the market straight away. So who's at the market? Well, we're looking at the Mercantile Guild agent. So our town market has this guild agent who's supposed to oversee everything, make sure everything's on the level and fair, especially for the stall owners. Of course, according to your contact, they were more than happy to take the bribe, and they didn't waste any time. They took that gold, that sizable pile of treasure, and they bought themselves an expensive looking bangle. You know, it's made of gold, it's probably got some sapphires, maybe a few emeralds in it. It's really ostentatious. It's right there in front of you. Here's the challenge. We're going to the market to snatch up that bangle without getting their attention. When our players arrive at the market, they'll see the guild agent where they usually hang out, right by the fountain, and they'll spot that bracelet immediately. It's very ostentatious and irresistible to a pickpocket. Irresistible? Well, let's take a look at the map and have a closer look. Well, what are the challenges of this robbery? It could be as simple as a good sleight of hand roll, but with this area being so busy, there are prying eyes everywhere, and the town guard patrols regularly, so simply just pinching it off of them might not be the best option. Make sure the players know that if they do go straight for it and they fail, there are a lot of witnesses and it could be trouble. So your players will need a distraction, or they'll need to lure the guild agent away somewhere secluded where they can take the bracelet without anyone interfering. Now this is a pretty open-ended challenge to be sure, but here are some things we can throw in to help them out. Number 1. They notice a customer is having some sort of dispute over corn and it's getting very heated with the stall merchant. Perhaps our players could work with that to create a distraction. Number 2. A pack of wild dogs are fighting over a large old bone. These dogs are hungry and clearly very motivated. Number 3. An out-of-town trader's wagon has broken down. The wheel is damaged. Perhaps if you help them, they can help you. So these are just some details you can throw in to make the market feel a bit more alive and inspire your players with different ideas on how to solve this problem. So after all that, one of two things will have happened. Number 1, they've got the bracelet and they got away. Well done, players. Or number 2, they absolutely ballsed it up and now they're under arrest by the town guard, or somewhere in between. We'll go to the jail scenario later down the line. If you want to know how to run a jail and how to arrest players and things, check out previous episodes. Episode 4 and 6 of It's Business Crime have you covered. But for now, let's imagine they were successful. They go back to the contact with that chunky bracelet. And yeah, the contact says, well done, gives you some gold for your trouble. And this is where, as a DM, I'd start to maybe throw out a few weird comments as the contact. I just want you to establish that maybe this contact isn't quite who they seem to be. Foreshadow that a little bit. Not too much, mind you. We don't want them too suspicious. Just a few lines here and there that might make them raise an eyebrow. Before they can get to questioning, hit them with the second mark. We're going to the blacksmith to rob the blacksmith. Ah, the blacksmith, a pillar of the community, working hard to give us all the tools, weapon and armor we might need. Sadly though, the only thing they couldn't forge was a moral compass. They took the gold and they melted it down, schmelted it into bullion. Bullion, gold bullion, the bars. So it is there somewhere, but your contact isn't exactly sure where it is on site. You're going to have to do some investigating, PCs, to find that treasure. Hey, want to help our players succeed? This is a dangerous mission they're on. Well, you can help out right now. You can give them a like, a subscribe, a comment. Give me any sort of attention and love, and well, their rolls might just get a bit higher. They might pull through. So if you want to see them succeed, I don't know, maybe do those 3 things. Anyway, back to the mission, back to the blacksmith. Let's take a look at the map and some of the challenges and some of the rewards they might find while robbing this place. The main challenge here is the high physical security of the building, combined with an alarm system that can get the town guard there really quickly. Now this looks complicated, but it's not really. In the day, they can just walk in, but the blacksmith's apprentice and family will be walking around, so chances of being detected is a lot higher. Now, going at night, everyone is asleep, but there are more locked doors and alarms set up for our PCs. Whichever time they go, I would give them an opportunity to scope out the place where they can learn the following. Number 1, the windows are hooked up to a bell mechanism. Breaking the windows could set off the alarm, and that would certainly bring the whole town guard down on you. Number 2, doing a circuit and peeking through the windows reveals what's in each of the rooms. As long as you don't get caught, this is some great intel. Number 3, the doors have thick, heavy metal locks on them. Sure, you could lockpick them, but if only there was a way in that the blacksmith had overlooked. Huh? Now, finding the gold bullion can be as hard or as easy as you want it to be. You could even leave it in plain view, but I think I would hide the gold in an unlikely place. Perhaps amongst the firewood behind the cooker in the kitchen. They can go around the building once they are in and roll some investigation/perception checks. And they might find it naturally, but I would include maybe a child's diary out somewhere saying that they were told off for playing with the firewood by the parent blacksmith. And this will clue them in. This will narrow the search down to only a couple of locations where there's firewood. Of course, as they get closer to securing the gold, make sure to ratchet up the drama. If it's in the day, maybe the town guard arrive at the blacksmith to pick up a shipment. If it's night time, perhaps the partner of the blacksmith sleepwalks into the room you are in. A crazy scenario that they have to respond to on the fly. Now, this might be a great place to throw in some extra treasure as well for your players to snatch up. Let's try rolling something randomly in the Dungeon Master's Guide. Here we get a 29, and that gets us the braces of archery. Very cool. Feel free to swap that out for something you think is more appropriate. Okay, so hopefully you've got the gold and you've gotten out of their PCs. Time to meet up with the contact. Now it's time to move to the third mark. We're going to the town apothecary. The doctor's office, basically. The town apothecary, where science and magic meet to hopefully cure any ailments you might have, any illnesses you have. It's basically a magic GP's office, and it's our last place. We're going after the head apothecary, the one in charge. Supposedly a good person, but would a good person take a bribe like that? I don't think so, DMs. So your contact knows that the apothecary hid it somewhere on the apothecary site. I'm saying apothecary a few too many times, a bit weird. They don't know where it is, but they think probably their office, the consultation room, might be a great place to start in your search. Now, whatever time of day our players go, there's always going to be a couple of people on site, one of them with a medical background, because this is a sort of 24-hour medical center for your fantasy town. I know it's meant to be medieval, but I think in this fantasy place where there's magic and sages and the arcane, it's quite reasonable to have something like this. So there'll always be someone there 24/7, making it a little bit more challenging than our previous locales. Okay, let's check out the map and see what we can throw at our players. Of all the encounters, this is the biggest. We have the apothecary map and the underground morgue map as well. And while snooping around, your players might notice these extra details. Number 1, throughout the building there are clearly marked magical glyphs on the floors. What do they do? And how do the people who work here not set them off? Well, I'm thinking that if a PC steps on them, then it makes a huge noise to alert the town guard, and it casts whole person on whoever set it off. We'd say it's a DC 13 wisdom save, with a failure meaning you're held for a minute. The way the staff get around this is they all wear special rings that prove to the glyph that they are trustworthy. You should describe these rings when you introduce any of these apothecary NPCs. Number 2. The receptionist is yawning when you spot them, and they're drinking a copious amount of coffee to keep themselves awake. With all these potions and elixirs inside the building, perhaps we can slip a sleeping agent into their brew when they aren't looking. Number 3, the lock on the door to the apothecary consultation room is high quality. It might be easier to actually go in there in the day under the guise of a patient with a problem and then see what you can find while the head apothecary isn't looking. What I'd suggest is, like in the blacksmiths, we give them a clue on how they can find the treasure they're searching for. So, in this case, perhaps the head apothecary got their assistant to actually hide the gold downstairs in the autopsy room. The assistant did do this job, but forgot to destroy the note after they were done. If the players head into the arcane lab and do a little search in there, well, let's give them another piece of random treasure. So once again, we're going to be rolling the dice and seeing what we found, and it looks like we've got 57. So if we check the magic scrolls, the charts, well, on magic item table C, we find a potion of heroism. very nice. Maybe a bit ironic considering they're acting like sneaky thieves, but we'll take it. If and when our players make it downstairs, they are faced with an arcane experiment blocking their way. Let's face off our players with a swarm of cranium rats. I love these little guys. You can find them in Volo's guides, and I think they're quite funny and a little bit cute with their little brains out and glowing. Turns out the sages here have come up with an interesting security system. Using their arcane knowledge, they have experimented and they have enhanced their lab rats to be intelligent. So aside from them being helpful and fetching the sages things during the day, well, they also patrol and attack anyone who shouldn't be in certain areas at night. When your players encounter them, if they are stealthy, I'd give them the opportunity to come up with a clever way to circumnavigate this challenge, because it need not be a fight. Remember though, these rats are clever and can communicate psionically, so talking your way past might be a challenge. If you think the swarm is too strong or too weak for your players, well, get stuck in there, Dungeon Masters. Tweak those stats accordingly. Okay, PCs, you've managed to get the gold on our third mark. That's all of them complete. Time to meet the contact and make a sweet reward. Of course, you can always run away from this, not trade it in for the last one, but hopefully they do, because it turns out our contact isn't who they appear to be. Turns out the contact is actually the romantic partner of the new mayor. They were the ones to bribe those officials and then realized after the point, well, we're in power now, let's get our money back. So they hired our PCs new to town to do the crime. So when our PCs arrived to do this last trade-off, to give in the last bit of money, well, there's going to be goons galore surrounding them. They're in for a tough fight. If at any point your players decide to take the money and run, it could be after Mark 1, it could be after Mark 2 or Mark 3, or they just take the treasure and say, I don't think we need to split it with the contact. They leave. That's great. I love that. We should reward them. That's kind of the optimal criminal play, really. But there will be consequences for our players. Our contact won't be very pleased and they'll want their money. So they'll be sending agents after our PCs, hounding them for the cash. And we're going to turn this into a bigger quest. And we're going to turn this into a bigger quest than it began. So I think that's a great place to end your session. You've got a lot to work with. You can now prepare a follow-up to what we've been working on here. And I think that's a great place to stop this episode as well. So thank you very much for watching. This is the end of my first season of It's Business Crime. We will be coming back to it, but I'm going to try next week. We're going to start a new show called Quest Bonanza. In this new series, I'm going to be making you new battle maps that you can download for free, and I'm going to be making you encounters surrounding those maps. So as Dungeon Masters, if you ever feel like you don't have enough time, well, don't worry. You can look at the video, download the map, and be ready to go in less than half an hour. In this new series as well, we're going to be moving away from the crime focus just for anything that could appear in an adventure, anything wacky and wild that, generates inside my mind palace. And I'm also going to be taking suggestions from you. So going on from this point, in the next video, if you want to leave comments saying what you'd like to see, well, I'm a fresh baby YouTuber. There's a very good chance I'll see those comments and can make it a map reality for you. Well, that is it for me. I'm Mike the Map Maker. Thanks again for watching. Keep on trucking, and I'll see you next time.